This is my Dismantling Stereotypes presentation, and the film that I decided to watch was called Melancholia. The film starts out by showing the planet Melancholia heading towards Earth and destroying it. Half of the film follows Justine at her wedding reception, where she is experiencing symptoms of depression. Those symptoms start increasing, and she becomes more and more withdrawn, which ultimately cause her marriage to fail that night, which then spirals into causing her a worse depression to the point where her sister Claire has to take care of her. The characters end up finding out that the planet Melancholia is headed towards Earth, and eventually the planet crashes into Earth. So, Justine experiences symptoms of major depressive disorder. Some of these symptoms are sadness, anger, loss of interest, sleep disturbances, tiredness, lack of energy, reduced or increased appetite, anxiety, slowed thinking or movements, feelings of worthlessness or guilt, trouble thinking or concentrating with suicidal thoughts, and unexplained physical pain. So Justine is displaying those symptoms of depression at her wedding reception, which causes her family to become increasingly upset with her for this behavior. These symptoms cause her marriage to end, and this event, along with her ongoing symptoms, cause her to be isolated, which is very common for people with depression, for things to spiral like this. And something else that she experiences is relief when she finds out that the planet Melancholia will be crashing into Earth. Her sister Claire, during the reception, urges Justine to hide her symptoms from her husband. She becomes increasingly upset with her sister for displaying any symptoms, and she tells her sister that she's lying to everyone by hiding those symptoms. She also tells her sister that she hates her twice in the film, but despite this conflict, she still ends up caring for her sister when her sister's depression worsens to the point where she can't care for herself at all. I would say that this film is fairly accurate portrayal of people with depression, since Justine does experience and show the symptoms very accurately. And I think it also does accurately show how other people sometimes usually treat people with depression, unfortunately. And so, Justine, like I said, has all those symptoms: sadness, anger, loss of pleasure, tiredness, anxiety, and feelings of worthlessness. And her isolation is also very common, which does make depression worsen, and it's very common for these things to happen. And something that's very notable is that her relief and improvement in her symptoms when she finds out she will die is very common with people with depression. So if somebody is experiencing depression and then they completely change overnight and become happy and relieved, then it's most likely that they have planned their suicide and they need intervention immediately. So the psychosocial stigma, I would say that the disability of major depressive disorder is being used as a melodramatic device in this film. And I would also say that, they are viewing Justine with malevolence. I would say that she is viewed as somebody who is a danger to herself and who is emotionally hurting her friends and family. I would also say that she does not overcome her disability. She pretty much only has relief because she knows she's going to die. So there really seems like there is no hope in this film, which I feel like is a negative effect. I feel like this film could make people afraid of people with depression. It could make people viewing the film think that people with depression can't be successful in relationships because Justine's marriage fails immediately. And I also think that it has the very dangerous potential to make people with depression feel that death is a solution. So that's seemed pretty dangerous to me. A learning experience for me is that I watched this when it came out years ago, and watching it again through this new lens gave me a fresh perspective on it, where now I can see how it really affects people viewing the film, and it affects the people with disabilities viewing the film. And I learned how big of an impact films can have on people's perceptions and opinions of people with disabilities. And I think going forward, I will be so much more aware of this, and I think it's something that's going to stand out to me from now on. And yeah, thank you for watching. Here are my references.